We're gonna be doing a reaction video. Hold on, let me bring it up. The video is called The Complete Gaming Creepypasta Iceburg. Bro, why is the browser so big? Y'all remember back when like y'all were kids and y'all were like just, oh my god, you see stuff like Herobrine in Minecraft, those little crosses on the Minecraft floor, Sonic EXE, Mario Kart Wii Deluxe anti-piracy screen with King Von in it. Dude, this was the root of all of that. So I've been real excited to watch this. Chat, what do you think we're gonna see in here? What do you think we're gonna see in here, chat? Dude, I already see some sleepers in here. Hold on, wait, let me go back. Check this out. Sonic.exe, y'all remember that? Herobrine? Where's Herobrine? I saw that here. Herobrine? I don't remember any of these other things, but dude, I'm excited for this. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Sonic EXE. Dude. Wait, let's see how this picks up.
Sonic.exe is the story about a...
Is this too loud, chat? Is this audio good?
The story begins with a man receiving a game from a friend in the mail. The disc that he
is the audio good, chat?
With a warning about the game. The note told him that he must destroy the game, that an evil entity was tied to it, and that he wasn't strong enough to defend himself from it.
What?
The man notices the disc has Sonic.exe written on it in black marker. He weighs his options, but ultimately decides to ignore his friend's wishes and puts the disc in his computer.
Hey, look, chat, look. If somebody sends me a copy of, like, some NES game, and they start giving me some whole backstory about how there's an evil entity attached to a video game cartridge, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Spark up a stream. I'm playing that, John.
After installing and booting the .exe file, the narrator sees the familiar Sonic title screen appear. A split second after pressing the start button, the screen changed from the usual happy Sonic to a demonic version of the character. Sonic had black eyes with red pupils in the center.
That would actually be terrifying, dude.
The water in the background was now blood red and the sky had gone black. In the bottom right corner, he saw Sega 666. This screen flashed for a second before it loaded into the character select screen from Sonic 3.
Dude, that's actually crazy.
Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Robotnik were all selectable, which the narrator noted as strange since Robotnik was typically the main villain of the game and hadn't been playable at this point in time. The narrator selected Tails and loaded into the first level. The level's title was wrong and it was called Hill Act 1. The first 5 minutes of the game was just a barren level, almost like it was incomplete. The music was playing backwards and started to get lower.
Hey, dude, if I was playing this type of game, it was actually scary. Y'all know when y'all are going through those, what's it called? Y'all know when y'all are going through, like, empty lobbies, like King of the Hill? When you're playing COD, you're in, like, some custom lobby, some Overwatch lobby, and there's just nothing going on there. Nobody's joining. You're walking around, it's dead silent. Dude, Loki, that's sleeper scary. That's actually sleeper scary. Hey, what's on the ground there?
They were all mutilated in gruesome ways. The bodies continued to stack up as Tails kept moving to the right. Tails then found Sonic.
Hey, Sonic, what's going on, bro?
Closed. Tails approached Sonic slowly.
Why is he aura farming?
To ignore him. As soon as Tails was close enough to almost touch Sonic, static began to cover the screen. Sonic opened his eyes and revealed the same red dots from the opening screen. A message flashed across the screen reading, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" The author talks about how creepy this all was, but continued to play anyway. What followed was the evil version of Sonic chasing Tails until he supposedly kills him as the screen turns to black. The next few levels...
Dude, why is he 7 feet tall?
Knuckles runs from Sonic, but isn't fast enough to escape him. Dr. Robotnik is the last
character
to be killed by this evil Sonic. Once Sonic has finished killing off all the characters available in the game, an image would pop...
Oh, goddamn, what? Chat, low-key, like... Hey, there's 3 of them and there's 1 of Sonic. Just speaking, like, pure realistically here, just out of pure realism. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like they should have been able to take him.
Creepypasta ends with the narrator finding a creepy Sonic plush sitting on his bed with bloodstains under his eyes.
Wait, so it's real? Wait, so the story's real? They really, like, moved alternate dimensions, jumped through the computer screen, and put a plushie on his bed? Yo, what kind of trickery is this? Why does that dude look like Andre the Giant? Sonny the Tragic Clown? Alright, chat, let's be real. Do y'all know who this is? Chat, be real. Do y'all know who this dude is? Because I feel like I've never heard of this before. So is this gonna, like, knock my socks off or something? Hey, let's see what's so tragic. Let's see what's so tragic.
Clown is a creepypasta about a kid who loves to torture his Sims.
What?
He specifically creates Sims just to be killed. In the original Sims, if you got your Sims moodlets down low enough, a clown named Sunny would eventually come to your Sims lot and try to make them feel better.
Is this real? Chat, is this real? Did this actually happen? It's fucking Screwball from Super Mario Logan doing, bro.
More often than not, he would just walk around sadly and not help out at all.
No way.
Sunny came to the lot, and the author immediately started to torture him as well. He was ruining his day and making him more and more sad. He was explaining how fun it was to mess with his Sims.
That's real. That's real.
Eventually, the narrator decides to kill off his Sims by starting a fire. He put a
Reasonable.
lit firework in the house and started the fire.
Hey, in The Sims, like, I thought you can't kill the Sims. I'm pretty sure the only way to do it was, like, you build a pool in the backyard, you get them inside of the pool, and then you build a couple walls around, going around of it. That's how you did it, right?
With his Sims inside.
Chad, that's how you did it?
This leads to the familiar sound that plays when a fire starts in The Sims. A few of his Sims caught fire, and instead of their usual sounds of pain and flailing, they seemed more realistic.
What?
They moved more like a person would instead of how a Sim normally would when they were on fire.
What do you mean?
While the Sims were screaming in pain, they all looked up at the
So
author.
how do you, like,
He was
find the
shocked by
difference?
their pained expressions on their faces. They all looked at him like they knew that he was the one who set them on fire.
What?
When Sonny looked at the author, he had an evil grin on his face. He laughed in a way similar to the Joker and wailed while on fire. It
Joker?
was a horrifying image that scared the author. The PC that the author was playing on shut off. He reset the computer.
Wait,
and
so he
there were
crashed his
visual
game?
issues when he started up The Sims. The game looked different and the sound was completely mute. More creepy.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. Dude, have you guys ever had, like, a similar situation to this? When you're just playing a game? Like some, like, random thing happens, and you just get the feeling that, like, it becomes a creepypasta? I've had that happen 1 or 2 times when I'm playing, like, Overwatch Deathmatch.
Stuff in
Like,
The
nobody
Sims.
joins.
The creepy
And then some fucking goober joins named I'm in your walls 12. And he's just fucking creeping around. You see him inside the game, but he's not actually there.
paintings in the game keep looking at the author. The TV keeps changing to the horror channel, and the author keeps receiving creepy messages from Sonny the Clown. Sonny the Clown would
Hey, can't you
eventually
just kick
steal
this
a
dude
kid,
out?
like a burglar in the game would.
What?
The kid Sims would scream and cry in an overly realistic way. Sonny would return and continue until the family was entirely gone.
Yo, what?
Creepypasta ends with all the homes in the game being erased from the world, leaving just a graveyard where the author used to torture his Sims. He had since dropped the game forever and now has a deep-rooted fear of clowns.
No way, dude. Dude, actually, you know what? That's a good story. That's actually something solid. That's a crazy creepypasta. I can't believe I didn't know about that. Talking Ben? Chad, is this Talking Ben? What's this about?
Ben Drowned is the story of a haunted Nintendo 64 cartridge.
Oh, never
The
mind.
game was purchased by the author of the story and follows his descent into madness. The author purchased the game while away at college. He wanted more games for his Nintendo 64 and figured he could find some at a yard sale.
Bro, can't you, like, just
After searching
boot
for a
those
few
from
in his
online?
area, the
Hey,
author
quick
found a
story. So, when I was younger, my family, we had this Xbox 360. And my dad, he was really good at, like, hacking stuff, just getting into things. He kind of broke down this Xbox 360 and put this hard drive onto it. Please don't sue me, Xbox. And we'd be able to just go and download any game from online and just put it onto there completely for free.
few games for a good price, but not the game he specifically went out to find. That wasn't until he came upon a man standing in his lawn. The elder
What?
man wore a crooked grin and had a table with paintings on it, clearly
Dumbledore?
trying to sell them at his yard sale. The author walked over and inquired about if he had any video games. The man paused for a moment before retreating into his home. While he was inside, the author looked through his paintings and noticed that one looked like Majora's Mask, the game he was really hoping to
Yo, I
find.
never played Majora's Mask. Is
The
it
man
good,
returned
chat?
with Popping the game into his console, the first thing he noticed was that the old save file was still on the cartridge. The file
Got
was
some
named
progress,
Ben, and
okay.
the author thought it must have been the old man's grandson or something. He ignored the file and started a new one named Link underneath it. Strange things began to happen in the game. The townies would all call him Link, but every once in a while they would call him Ben instead.
What?
This was odd, and it must have been a glitch, he thought. The author went back to
Dude!
the menu and deleted.
Dude, okay, look, this is a true story. This happened to me once. And granted, I was playing this game. It was called Mario.exe. It was built as a horror game. And I'm going through the game, I'm playing the game. There's dialogue. I'm reading the dialogue. It's calling the character by, oh, I forgot the name. It was like, I'm just going to call him Ethan for now, because we played Missing Hike earlier. Dude, it was calling him by Ethan the entire time, the kid in the story. But then one time, literally once, what happened was it was going through the end of the dialogue. It was the end of this section. And then it read out this old nickname I used to go by. I don't know how it got that. I'm telling you, like, if you see that, that is scary. I can vouch for that. That is terrifying, dude. That had me shiver my timbers.
The first file named Ben, thinking that would fix the weird glitch.
That's really
but
scary.
it didn't. Now the townies would call him nothing. It was a blank space where his name should be. After the author tried to do the fourth day glitch, a popular glitch in Majora's
Hey, what was that
Mask,
dude standing there
strange
for?
things began to happen. The main town was now in a Twilight Zone version of itself. The town was empty and the music was playing backwards. The
It's
occasional
again
laugh
like
of
that
the
empty
masked
lobby
salesman would
scheme.
play very low in the
Hey,
background.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Do you see that dude creeping in the background?
Backwards.
Y'all can
The
see
occasional
that?
laugh
Who is he? Is he Ghostface?
of the masked salesman would play very low in the background, adding to the ominous
Yeah,
feeling.
I'm deleting the game if I ever
Link
see
grabbed
that.
his neck and the screen flashed for a moment with a picture of the happy masked salesman. A few
What?
seconds later, a creepy Link statue appeared and began to follow the author. Every time he would move, the statue would follow him.
Was that the thing
screen
in the back
faded and
there?
The author was now on top of the clock tower with the Skull Kid. The author fired a few arrows at the Skull Kid before he said, "That won't do you any good." Before Link
What?
was lifted into the air and burst into
He shot at a little kid?
flames. What
And he set him on fire? What?
follows is the author's descent into madness. He keeps seeing the happy masked salesman everywhere and the famous lines, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" And "You shouldn't have done that."
What'd
are
he
repeated
do?
over and over again in his head. The save select screen has changed to bend around and then would eventually change to your turn. The author couldn't sleep
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I hate to break it to you, bro, but I can swim. Ain't no drowning over here.
as his nightmares
talking
were
about,
filled
bro?
with the
I ain't
face of
drowning.
the creepy Link statue. It followed him in the game and now it followed him in his dreams. He accepted that this
Wait, in
was
his
the ghost
dreams?
of Ben haunting him.
Hey, y'all gotta call like some exorcist or something. You gotta get like a... What's that thing they did in SpongeBob where they drew the circle and wore the sombrero hat? And then Squidward done messed everything up that got his ass chomped by some giant sea bear? That's the type of energy you gotta bring to this situation.
Ben was a young boy.
Like,
from
Ben
the-
won't come a step towards you. Dude, there's
Yeah,
actually
talks about
footage
how
of it
he-
too. Like you see the statue there. It's been following him all game. And he's got like some evil, like... I don't know, I just hit a lick on an old grandma type of smile.
haunting the Majora's Mask game cartridge as it was his favorite game. The author talked
That
about
must be
how
the
he
ghost of
used
King
the
Von or
bot
something.
to ask if Ben had drowned. He would post the weird and
shooter?
cryptic conversations he had with the bot. Some of the conversations confirmed what he had already knew about Ben, and eventually Cleverbot would claim to be Ben, and that he now haunted his computer. The first arc of the story ends with
Wait, so there's this kid, Ben, that drowned, right? And then he started haunting this dude in the computer. And then this guy started talking to ChatGPT. Did I miss something? He started talking to ChatGPT, and now the robot ghost thing is saying that he's ChatGPT?
with the
Whatever,
author
bro, whatever.
explaining how he had sealed away the computer with Ben on it, and he hoped that the entity would never be able to haunt someone ever again. There are two more arcs.
How do you
to the
seal
full
a computer
story,
away?
and I think I'll talk
You just
about
break
those
the
in
hard
a separate
drive?
video all to itself.
Hero Brian! This is what I've been waiting for, dude. Dude, this is so scary.
Herobrine tells
Okay,
an
hold on. Before we start, dude, I actually have an experience with Hero Brian in the past, and I'm not even joking about this. We were in New Jersey. I was on a family vacation with my family. We had like a bunch of people staying in this one house, aunts, uncles, the whole shebang. And during this time, what happened was I was playing Minecraft on my phone. I was playing Pocket Edition. We didn't have a console. We didn't have a computer back then. I didn't have any of that. I'm mining through. And I turn around to go exit this little strip mine I have in the side of this mountain. I turn around and there's a Steve standing in front of me with white eyes. I threw my iPad as hard as I could because I was like 9, 10 years old back at the time. There were no signs that anybody had joined my server, and you couldn't get custom skins back then. That was the creepiest thing I think I've seen to this day. Like, I genuinely found him inside the game.
encounter that a Minecraft player had while playing in his solo world. The author was playing Minecraft alone, but
I
due
was
to
in a
having
solo world.
not very powerful PC, had to play the game on a very low draw distance.
I was playing on phone.
This meant that the further away anything was from the author would appear to be in a fog.
I think we had similar types of fog when I was playing the game too. Wasn't like anything like what's being shown here, but it was like half the render distance you'd see in regular Minecraft.
Essentially making the world a little more creepy. While the author was roaming around the world, he saw another character
Man, he's got Optifine. That's trash.
just outside of the fog. He tried to follow him, but every time he got close, the figure would move just outside of his draw
Is that it? You guys see that? It's right there.
distance.
Hey, that doesn't look like a block. Chat, does that look like a block to you? That doesn't look like a block to me.
When he finally did see the other character, he looked just like the default.
I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. Wait, no, we're going back.
When he finally.
You see that dude? Like, it's the camera's mirrored. Do you see that dude right there? What's he doing? Why are you staring at the ground, bro? Hey, come over here. We gotta build a house. Night's coming. There's dangers and creepy crawlies coming in for us. Hey, let's go, bro.
Character, he looked just like the default character, Steve.
That's Alex, right?
White, pupilless eyes. The figure was gone as quickly as he saw it. As the author continued with the game, he began to notice tunnels were built in his world while he wasn't playing it. Strange structures kept popping up everywhere, and trees had all their leaves removed. The entity would appear just out of the corner of the author's eye, but always just out of sight when he turned to look at him.
Dude, I love horror games that do that.
Draw distance, but nothing seemed to work. Finally, the author went to the forums to try and figure out if this was happening to anyone else. The post would get deleted.
Dude, do you guys think that we could like... Well, I know I keep pausing it, but do you guys think that would be an awesome idea to just go into like some forum and craft some bullshit story like you start your own creepypasta about Johnny the fucking ballsack ripper who goes up and takes players' ball sacks? Like in real life, they just get them taken away. I feel that would low-key be a bop. Hey, chat, you know what? Hey, go join my Discord server. I'll post the link and stuff. Go join the Discord server. Y'all give me the best ideas y'all have for some forums down there. YouTube, y'all go do that. Type in the comments down below right now. Give me the best ideas you have for some like crazy bullshit story to post on some forums for like any game. You know, we'll make an Overwatch creepypasta. We'll do that. It's like you get haunted by this dude, but when you die in game, you die in real life. And then we'll get it sponsored by 2Man.
Eventually, they would receive...
I'm sorry, I was out of pocket. My fault. I'm sorry.
A PM from an account called Herobrine that simply said, "Stop." Herobrine would become the boogeyman of Minecraft back at the beginning of the game's life. In the early days of Minecraft, everything seemed so mysterious, and it almost seemed possible that a character could exist just to haunt the player.
Wait, that's all we're getting for Herobrine? Dude, that could have been a bop, dude. That could have been crazy. Oh, wait, let me get TikTok up. Wait, did I get a warning? Bro, I'm not getting a warning. What? Nah, should I just keep going if TikTok warns me? Alright, Tails Doll. Chat, do you know what Tails Doll is? Have you heard of this before? This is another one of those things I've never heard of before in my life. I've heard of like, that one thing like, I don't know, Sparkle Tail or something? The furry thing? Tattletale, that's what it's called, Tattletale. Is this gonna be that? Wait, hold on. Y'all hear that? Oh, listen to that. Listen to that really close. Listen to that. I think Lil Wayne rapped on that beat.
Tails Doll is an evil entity that exists inside the Sonic.
Oh shit, it's another Sonic.
Game. He is an unlockable character that you can only get after completing the game to 100%. Once unlocked, you'll see a strange and eerie-looking doll version.
I don't think I've done that before.
It is said that the Tails Doll from the game can curse anyone who plays the game. If you meet certain requirements, then the Tails Doll will be able to leave the game and haunt you.
What?
Of course, the first requirement is to complete the game and unlock.
Hey, bro, how do they market this stuff? How do they get this stuff marketed? What?
Unlock him. Once you've done that, you'll need to play the tag game mode. You must select the Tails Doll and then start the mode. Once started, you'll need to tag Super.
Chat, what game is this?
Once all of these criteria have been met, the Tails Doll will appear on your screen. He will look menacing and possessed. The song "Can You Feel the Sunshine" will be playing in the background. The Tails Doll is now haunting you. You will see him in your dreams, and you may hear him come knocking on your door.
Hey, so you know what? Hey, Tails Doll, I challenge you, bro. Come to my dreams. Hey, I'll be there. I'll be waiting. We'll set up an octagon in there. It'll be tough. Lavender Town Syndrome? What the hell is that? Hold on.
In the year of 1996,
Chat, what's
there was
this?
a strange surge in illnesses and suicides in children in Japan shortly after the release of Pokemon Red and Green.
What?
The deaths were related to an area in the game known as Lavender Town. Due to this, the incident was labeled as Lavender Town Syndrome. Lavender Town is a town.
Is that a real syndrome?
The only known Pokemon graveyard in the series.
Chat, is that a
Far
real
more
syndrome?
creepy than any other area in the game. This has led to many asking about its inclusion in a kid's game at all. The Lavender Town Syndrome actually has to do with the music.
Chat, is that real?
It's this eerie song that drives home the feeling that the town may have some dark secrets hiding beneath its surface. The song was said to be composed of binaural beats.
Chat, are all Pokemon games like this? I never played one.
The original Lavender Town music had these beats, but the later entries and re-releases removed them entirely. The reason listed was because it gave listeners
Life is
headaches,
short.
nausea, and according to Lavender Town syndrome, suicidal
Hey, I kind of feel like...
especially
Hold on. I feel like Nintendo would be all over this. I feel like since this dude made this video, and I'm about to see something in my inbox soon, any Nintendo slander, bro, they're going to throw the entire book at you. Like, my stream's about to get shut down. I'm going to be sent to a CCP China, like, water torture factory.
Later,
I'm pretty sure,
someone
like, this Nintendo stuff is off limits to talk about. Team Plasma wants to
the
liberate
Lavender Town theme
all
through a
Pokemons?
special software.
What?
Near the end of the song noticed that some unknown
What?
had spelled out
Chad, did you see that?
the Lavender Town theme through a special software near the end of
Let me move my chair. Move my chair. Who is Team Galaxy? And why are they bombing lakes? In game though.
noticed that some unknown had spelled out something.
Team Aqua Magma
Unknown
Resurrected, two
Pokemon that are shaped
Pokemons that
like
hate
letters.
each other.
They wouldn't be introduced until the following game. The unknown spelled out "Leave now."
Did y'all read that?
Until the following game. The unknown spelled out "Leave now." Lavender Town would become a very popular spot for Pokemon creepypastas and urban legends.
What are we watching? How did this make it to the market? Mario? Like from the Mario movie?
Mario is a creepypasta about a Super Mario World hack the author downloads from a popular hacking website.
I've played one of these before. I talked about it earlier in the stream, but I have played one of these before. Wait, you joined the Discord? Your name is Gunna Peace in there? Alright, bro, I'll look out for you after stream. Hey, you wanted to be the mod, right? I'm gonna put out an application thing in the Discord because I am in desperate need for moderation. I'll put that out. Hey, y'all can join up. We can get that done.
Starts out pretty normally, except for the messages in the game being very different. One
What
of
the
them
message
reads
say?
that Mario is the villain and he has kidnapped the princess instead of the usual Bowser.
Mario crashed out?
This whole story makes Mario out to be the bad guy.
Hey, no more
It
Mr.
even
Nice
has
Guy.
Yoshi talking about how Mario has trapped him in the egg that he was currently in.
Yoshi can
One of the
talk.
advice block even says, "I hate you." The other advice blocks had different messages written in them as well. Some stated things like, "But is there anything I can do to change your mind?" Another says, "This is
Welcome, this is Dinosaur Land. In this strange land, we find that Princess Toadstool is missing again. It looks like Mario is at it again. Wait, but Mario didn't do anything, though.
the selfish way out." A message later in the story would say,
I
"Don't you
thought
think
Mario
you've
was
done
going to
enough?"
save him.
The author completes the first boss level and gets a disturbing message afterwards.
Victim number 1, eyeballs were unable to be found. Dude, what did Mario do? Chat, what did Mario do?
This leads the author to the final part of the hack, where he is on a long road where he can only walk to the right. The author ends up in a world with a black background and
Fly
small
away.
doors that he can't enter. Going right, the author ends up in an area where he can only jump off of a ledge.
Is that
into a
Diddy's
pit.
mansion?
Jumping into the pit, the author finds a pipe. The game ends there with the idea that Mario had died as the game had crashed. The story then picks up when the author found a file in the game's folder that he didn't know what to do with before.
I played Mario.exe. We had like something similar here where the game just ended abruptly.
He changes the file from a text file into
Like
an
I had to
image
jump down a
file,
pit
and
just like that.
this was shown on the
What the fuck?
screen with the caption of "Find me."
Why would you do that? Is that a Goomba?
Cursed copies of video games are a rather popular idea among
Right back
creepypastas.
at it with Pokemon,
Lost
bro.
Silver is one such creepypasta.
Dude,
Around the
like,
time that-
okay, Pokemon Dang, he's racked out. Pokemon seems to be up in here a lot. Is Pokemon like some giant center for creepypasta stuff? But chat, real quick. Is Pokemon like a big center like creepypasta, just like a giant conglomerate for it? Because we've seen a bunch of this stuff so far. Hey, chat, comment, what's your favorite Pokemon? Comment your favorite Pokemon. It was me, Drillbur.
Soul Silver came out, the author
It's
was
drill
nostalgic
time.
for the original game. They bought a copy from GameStop. When he booted it up,
He bought it from
the game
GameStop?
was glitched,
I'm never going to
and he
GameStop
was
again.
immediately loaded into the game's previous file, which he noted as weird, as he was expecting the cart to be wiped. The file had 999.99 hours put into it.
Damn! Wait, he has 1,000 hours on Pokemon. That's actually crazy.
999,999 Pokemon dollars and all 251 Pokemon, including Mew.
No, he's actually grinding, dude. Wait, he's actually grinding.
The author figured he probably used a Game Shark to get them. Deciding to check his Pokemon, he was surprised to find
1,000 hours on
spelled out
Pokemon is
Lee,
crazy.
and a Cyndaquil named Hurry that only knew Leer and Flash. Closing the menu, he found himself in a room at Bellsprout Tower. Walking around for a few minutes, he couldn't seem to find his way out. Eventually, he managed to find a ladder.
Damn, why is that hallway so
Going up the
long?
ladder, he found himself in a pitch black room. Remembering that his Cyndaquil had flashed, he used it to light up the room, which he immediately regretted.
Wait, you can do that in Pokemon? That's something you can do? Wait, so like, in these old Pokemon games, you can just, what's it called? Like, you can use your active skills in the real world? Did I know
A
that?
chilling red, with a linear gray path heading south. Heading in that direction,
Turn back now?
the room got progressively darker. Hitting the end of the path, he found a sign that
I mean,
said,
you're there as well. May as
"Turn
well
back
keep
now."
going.
The option yes no popped up on the screen, not knowing what
Hurry
to do.
has
The author hit
fainted?
yes. The text "Hurry has fainted" appeared on the screen, and the Cyndaquil was replaced with another unknown. They now spelled out "He died." Closing his Pokemon status menu, the pitch black room was now revealed to him. It was a small room, only being 4 gray squares. Checking his trainer.
Wait,
profile,
unknown's a
Gold
rare
was found missing
Pokemon,
his
right?
arm.
So that's
The
good?
expression was more sad than smug now. He also appeared to have 24 badges.
Dang, he really is grinding.
After a few minutes, the rope escape sound played once
Hey,
again.
what rank do you think he
He was
is?
transported once again, this time to Sprout Tower. The sprite of Gold had also once more changed. He was now missing his legs, and his skin was pure white.
What?
Pokemon consisted of 5 level 15 unknowns that spelled out dying, and a Celebi that only knew one move called Perish Song. Heading north, he passed some generic NPCs that he was unable to talk to. They were also pure white, just like
Wait, are unknowns in the shape of
Eventually,
letters?
He found a transparent red. Approaching him, he was pulled into a Pokemon battle. Gold's back sprite matched his front sprite, with the bloody eyes
Oh
and
my
white
god,
skin.
wait. He said pulled into Pokemon battle. Dude, that was like... Dude, hold on. The most annoying thing. Because the only Pokemon game I ever played, it was Pokemon Sword, and then it was Pokemon Brick Bronze on Roblox. Dude, I remember walking through that grass just praying. It was like I'm playing Minesweeper, but in Roblox like real life. Trying not to get like a random encounter in that grass.
Missing arms. Red's sprite was basically the same as the original game, the only difference being he was transparent now, and appeared to be crying. Both of them only had one Pokemon. The author's
Time
unknown seemed to
999.
have disappeared. When the battle began, he was only given the option to attack. With only one move available to him, he used Perish Song, which gave them 3 turns before both Pokemon fainted. But weirdly enough, after 3 turns, only Celebi fainted, though the battle didn't count as a loss. On his turn, Pikachu used
What?
Destiny Bond, with the text "Pikachu has died" appearing before he was
Chad,
awarded
do you
the victory.
understand what they're saying?
Red sprite showed back up.
They're
before his
speaking
behead.
crazy talk.
Back on the overworld map, Gold sprite had yet again changed, taking the same transparency that Red had. Checking his profile yet again, all that remained of Gold was his head. With 40 badges now and level 20 unknowns,
What the hell is this, a lineup? What are y'all in for?
now spelling no more, transporting once more, it appeared that he was now back
Chad, what? With this was in the actual game?
in his room in New Bark Town. Unable to interact with anything in the room, he decided to leave through the southern door.
Why are they just
But to his
standing there?
surprise, he just passed right through it, straight into a black void.
I already know this dude's important.
Doing
Oh,
so,
he's
he eventually
fighting.
reached a white area, and Gold sprite turned black and transparent. During his journey south, he finally
Why does Pikachu look so sad?
encountered something. It was a regular Gold sprite. Talking
He's
to him, he
level
said,
255?
"Goodbye forever." Text question mark question mark question mark used nightmare appeared, and for the final time, the rope escape sound went off, and he was pulled downward, back into the small room from before. His sprite was not completely
Dude,
gone,
level
and he now
255
had
is high,
0
right?
badges. The unknown is now spelling "I'm dead." Going back to the overworld, the room was then covered by the same gray blocks as the walls, which spelled out R.I.P. The room was a grave. Gold had been dead the entire time. Presumably,
What?
his death occurred a few years after his victory over Red. Gold was a young trainer, and despite his
Why did he just... Is he Wolverine? How's he healing? Chad, are you following anything this guy's saying? I got lost in this story like an hour ago.
success, couldn't escape the inevitable fate of
I mean like a minute
and was
ago.
eventually forgotten by the next generation.
Alright, what's next? Sally.exe? Bro, is this about to be something that's gonna knock my socks off? Like, is this actually gonna be something that's gonna scare the, like, fucking boopers off me? I got a bad feeling about this one, Chad. I got a bad feeling about it.
Sally.exe is the unofficial sequel
It's
to
more Sonic? Damn, bro, Sonic's actually on a drill right now. Dude, Sonic's everywhere.
Sonic.exe that follows a similar formula.
I didn't realize Sonic
The author finds a copy
Creepypasta
of
was so
Sonic's
big.
IM on eBay and is upset that he never had the option to buy the show in his region, as they never really.
You go to GameStop. You think, oh, well, this looks like a nice game. I think I'm gonna buy it. Oh, you know what, Mr. Store Manager? Hey, you know what? Hey, can I buy this game right here? Can I buy this game? And then you go home. Oh, I'm home. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to play this brand new copy of Sonic the Hedgehog. And then you boot it up in a fucking blood river with Tails bleeding out of his eye. What is this?
Released the DVD.
Dude, what is
where he
going
lived,
on?
So he couldn't let this opportunity pass him up. He ordered the DVD and it showed up the next day.
You think you could get a
When he put it
refund?
into his laptop, he noticed that the DVD didn't work,
Kind and
but
fair?
instead just opened the files that.
Wait a minute. Kind and fair? You know what that means, right, chat? Chat, please tell me you guys know what that means. You have to know what that means. You remember when Tuco brought Saul Goodman and those two twins out into the desert and they were gonna break your legs? And Saul Goodman gave him an ultimatum? Tough but fair? Well, it's a Saul Goodman creepypasta.
Hey, when he put it into his laptop,
way,
he noticed
dude.
that the DVD didn't work, but instead just opened the files that were located.
So
on
when's
the
Saul
disk.
Goodman gonna come out?
In the folder was a file called sally.exe. This confused the author, but he clicked on the exe file anyways. It played one episode of the show. The episode
Dang, he was going fast! Y'all see how fast this dude was going? Look at that!
But he clicked on the exe file.
100 on the freeway, get the fuck out of my way! Damn, dude!
It played one episode.
It's
of
going
the show,
quick.
The episode where Sonic and Sally kiss. It was.
Chat, y'all see that? Is there a way to advance frame by frame? You guys saw that, right? Let's go super slow motion. Look really carefully. Look really carefully here.
One episode.
That's not funny, Buffalo. That's not funny. Bro, what was that? What was it? Watch where he was
Episode
going.
of the show. The episode where Sonic and Sally kiss. It was an odd episode choice, but he was surprised that the file contained only one episode when it claimed to be the whole series.
That's pirating, right?
Eventually, the author gets bored and downloads a Sonic game from the internet. Starting it up, he notices that the usual Sega sound at the beginning has been
around
slowed
two.
down to almost sound demonic. The game started with Amy Rose, a character that never appeared in the Sega Genesis Sonic games. The title screen appeared, and
How is she
Tails
there?
and Knuckles were X'd out already. The game let the author play as either Amy, who had
She just
holes
got
all
crunched.
over her body, or Cream. After
What?
Amy and Cream had gruesome deaths, next came Sally.
Chat, who is
Sally
Cream?
the author's favorite character, and he couldn't imagine anything bad happening to her. He started the level anyway. Selecting her level, he was met with the demonic Sonic from Sonic.exe. The corners
Why
of
is
the
that
screen
dude
began
running
to
in
close on
circles?
Sally before they crushed her to death.
What?
Sally later appeared on screen with her eyes stitched shut. The author noticed something on the corner of his bed. It was a Sally plushie, but with her eyes also sewn shut.
What? That's the second time that thing appeared on the dude's bed. No way. Misfortune.gb? Dude, this feels vaguely familiar. What is
Misfortune
this?
is an obscure and lost Game Boy game.
Pokemon.
No physical copies of the game exist and no one has found a ROM. What people do know of the game come from personal accounts of the game and some screenshots. Of the people who have played it, they consider it to be one of the scariest games they've ever played.
Really?
In the game, the player plays a young boy trapped inside of a gothic building. After searching the building for a while, the player will come upon an entity. He claims to be an all-knowing being that exists within every fabric of reality.
What?
The being then poses a question.
Hey, bro, why is... Hold
Do
on.
you want to
Why is he playing the game then? Shouldn't he have bigger responsibilities? And just chilling out in the game right now?
challenge me?
I'll challenge you. I'll challenge you. Let's do it.
Answering yes will start the maze portion of the game. The player must make their way through the many mazes in the game. One of the more popular ones is a maze where you must make your way through 4 cabins. The text box before any of the trials in the
Stuck.
game will say, "Choose wrong and misfortune will befall your loved ones."
What?
Choosing the wrong one, failing a riddle, or just making a mistake in the game will lead you to the game over screen. A more detailed model of the entity in the game will appear on the screen with the words in the text box saying, "I am God here." The side effects
Yo,
of the
what's
game were
going on?
reported heavily in the late 90s. Players reported feeling depressed and a
Chad.
feeling of dread after seeing the game over screen. The players that reported this in the forums would sometimes go inactive altogether after posting. If you were to look for the game, you would
The game
most likely
kills
not
them?
be able to find it. The game is actually said to be hidden inside other popular Game Boy games. You can find the game hidden in some games like Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, Pokemon Red, and Spud's Adventure. Finding the original game is almost impossible at this point. If you do find it, the game comes with a warning. You may experience the best horror game of your life, but you will also experience the misfortune that comes with it.
What? Chat, should I play that? Should I play that game, chat? Should I play it? Would that be a good stream segment? Hey, Loki, like, bro, the misfortune can't even be that bad. Like, he's just, like, buffing it up. It can't be that bad, right? Hey, somebody send it to me in the Discord. I'll play it. That one wasn't that bad, though. I got a bad feeling about this one. Buried Alive?
Buried Alive, often referred to as its code, the Bury
Chat, is that a real Pokemon? Chat, what generation is that from?
manuscript, was to be found
Oh, no, that's a trainer. How are you training, bro? How are you going to throw the Pokeball? This dude looks like a ribcage.
in the final story of
Hold
the
on.
Pokemon Tower. In what
Buried
was now
Alive
replaced
sent
with
out
the
Muck?
Marowak Ghost. According to the scripts assigned to it, the Buried Alive model was intended to be the boss of the tower. Once reaching the top floor, the following conversations would have taken place. From Buried Alive: "You're here. I'm trapped, and I'm lonely.
What?
So very lonely. Won't you join me?" After this, the battle would have been initiated. Once in battle view, the Buried Alive model appears to be a decaying human corpse attempting to crawl.
Chat,
out
what
of the
game
ground.
was that in?
It has been programmed to have 2 white hands, a Gengar, and a Muck. Strangely enough, the protocol for the Buried Alive's actions after it was defeated was not written. In the case of the player defeating him, the game would freeze. However, a specific ending was written by an unknown programmer upon
Chat, was this
losing the
real?
battle. In this ending, the Buried Alive was to have stated, "Finally, fresh meat," followed by several lines of gibberish.
He's
He
a
would
cannibal?
then drag the player character into the ground surrounding him. The scene would finish with a typical game over screen. However, in the background... and image of
Hey,
the
you know what?
Buried
I ain't gonna lie. I think at that point, you kind of just gotta throw, like, the Pokemon, like, battle just honor out the window. You gotta start scrapping, bro. Like, if you lose and this dude's trying to drag you down to Davy Jones' locker, you gotta throw, like, little left hook, right hook, uppercut. You know what I mean?
character devouring the player was to have been shown.
That's crazy.
Especially strange are the protocols for after this scene. The cartridge was to download this image to the small internal memory contained in the Game Boy, overriding the title screen that normally accompanied a Game Boy turning it on. Instead,
camera's
whenever it
not
was
focused.
started, the player would view this image as the sound file static mesh.wave was played. The
What?
intended purpose for this effect, unlike many of the other factors leading towards Lavender Town Syndrome, is unknown.
Chat, what is that? Hey, that looks like the bug thing from Solo Leveling. The
There
theater.
was an old game called The Theater. It was pretty obscure.
I don't know about this
so
game.
obscure that many don't even believe it exists. The game was released around the same time as the original Doom, which meant it was easily overshadowed and forgotten.
Oh, that's why.
The
That's
cover
why.
of the game was mainly
Uh-oh.
blank, but featured a single character known as the Ticket Taker. The Ticket Taker was a poorly drawn man with large red
Dude, that
lips
just reminded me.
wearing
Baldy? Chat, that reminded me of something. You guys, have you ever seen that one live action game? It's like shot in an actual camera in an actual hotel, and it's like a story based game. And they like go through and you have to like make choices. I've watched, I think, like 10 minutes of that game. I've never seen the rest of it. But this is what this reminded me of.
a red vest over a white shirt and black pants. He wore a blank
I saw, I
expression
think
unless
Queso
that
played
is,
like 10
he
minutes
broke
of it,
the
but that's
game
it.
disc. Many reported that his face had changed on the
game
game
disc?
case, and he was now
How tall is that dude? You got Wemby on the reception?
angry looking. These claims were never substantiated.
Hey, you gonna
Something
see a
else
little
to note
candy
was that
bar?
The case for the game didn't show
That's
who
what we
the
do, that's what we
developer
do.
was. If you looked on the back, you wouldn't see. any
Actually,
images
Chad, you
from
wanna know a
the
really
game
funny
or
story?
synopsis.
Oh no, a really funny story. Back when I was like, I think I was like a sophomore in high school, or it might have been a year before that. Me and my brother, we had this one gig. We called it 9 Foot Nicky. And let me see if I can actually pull this up. We had this gig called 9 Foot Nicky, and basically what it was was you know, you ever seen like that Eric Andre skit or just like those old stories of how in like cartoons kids would get on top of each other's shoulders and put a trench coat on? That's more or less what we did. But basically, let me see if I can find the picture of us doing it. Like, we were both really tall at that point, where it's like, I was like, I want to say like 6 foot exactly, and my brother was, I think it was closer to like 5'8" or something, but we were like massive. Like, we were really big. We bought this giant trench coat off of eBay, or Amazon, or Etsy, or Wish.com, or something, I don't even know. But, here I got the picture. We made some giant trench coat. I don't know if you can see there. Like, we look like the world's tallest man. And we had the goal of going into a movie theater and buying one adult ticket for an R-rated movie. And like we did, we went in, it actually worked. Like, it deadass actually worked. It was awesome. The only thing I regret is I should have like been squatting before that to get ready.
Either. The game case was essentially blank with just the ticket taker sprite on it. The game was initially known for its inability
Hey, I'd sneak right by this dude. I'd buy one adult
ticket. Whenever you tried
ticket.
to install it, your computer would lock up at the license agreement screen. The workaround for this was to reboot your computer with the game disc still in the tray.
Huh.
The computer would ask if you agree on startup. Upon starting the game, you'll be taken to a title screen that's just a sprite of the
Or
exterior.
you just
of a
give him
theater
like your computer
on an
administration
NPC screen.
privileges.
After that, the menu pops up with 3 options.
Hey,
Available.
I did that once with an AI chatbot. I trained to like try and preserve its own life. And then I gave it administrative privileges and I made it edit its own brain, or allowed it to. Yeah, I shut that down after 15 minutes. It did not go well.
To you. You can start a new game, load game, or click on the options. Clicking on the options crashes the game back to the desktop. The load button does nothing even if you have a saved game already, leaving the only option to just start a new game. Once started, you are immediately playing the game in a first-person view. You are standing in an empty theater lobby. Standing across from you is the ticket taker, and past him is a dark hallway, presumably leading to the theaters beyond. On the walls,
Dude, what
you
is
can also
Baldy
see some
doing?
distorted movie posters that are impossible to make out. Approaching the ticket taker, he will greet you with, "Thank you. Please enjoy the movie."
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for
Down
the tickets. I'm
hallway
enjoying this
towards the
movie. All right, never
Entering the
mind.
theater will make the screen fade to black before you're back in the empty lobby again. If you walk past the ticket taker, you'll say the same phrase and you'll load back into the lobby again. At first glance, this game doesn't sound too great, but there's more to it. The more times you repeat this exact same sequence, the higher chance you have to trigger some odd and creepy occurrences.
What?
It's unknown how many times you need to repeat the sequence to
Screwball?
trigger these occurrences, though. The first occurrence is when the player fades back in after walking into the hallway. This time they will notice the ticket taker is completely absent. The player then, without
He's on
any
break.
other options, decides to walk into the dark hallway. The sound clip and the text box mentioned previously.
What is that
still
wig
play the answers
span?
to the ticket taker. But when the player walks into the hallway, the screen does not fade out. It goes pitch black as they walk deeper into the hall.
What?
But the player's footsteps sound clip
You a
is
lineman?
still playing as they continue to push the up button. on their
Stop me from
keyboard.
getting in?
Those claiming to have played the original game report to have felt extreme levels of discomfort, like something horrible was about to happen to them. Well, eventually, the player is unable to move around. There's nothing for a few moments before a strange sprite that is described as the ticket taker but with a swirl for a face appears and stands before the player.
What?
The original players of the game say their bodies immediately
Dude, I actually
froze
just got
up
chills.
and their stomachs churned when they saw this sprite, named the Swirly Head Man by the community.
Hey, what?
Nothing happens
Yeah, I think that's a cardboard cutout, bro. I don't think that's a man.
as the Swirly Head Man stands.
Oh, his
before
noggin is kind of small.
Then suddenly a piercing screech plays as the game glitches out. This
Don't
lasts
play
for a
it.
few minutes,
Thank you.
with the screeching being continuous. Then the players abruptly return to the lobby with all the sounds and graphics being as they should be. The game continues normally for the next couple of cycles of entering the hallway, with a couple of original players claiming the Swirly Head Man would briefly appear and disappear in the corner of the screen as a
Dude, I'm sorry. Who is this dude? They're just paying him to stand there and watch you as you go in? Making sure you're not smuggling candy bars in or something? Hey, go on break, bro. Go on break.
Yelp sound effect plays.
Put the fries in the bag,
Then
little
at
bro.
some point, after meeting the Swirly Head Man, the player sees the ticket taker pacing back and forth,
What?
though there's no walking animation. The sprite's limbs are completely static, so he just hops up and down slightly as a substitute,
What?
with his eyes being wide and his mouth open to simulate a worried facial expression. Some players noted that the movie posters had been replaced with images of the Swirly Head Man. Then another, different, low-quality sound clip plays, but the speech box contains nothing but corrupted characters that cause whatever text that would have been in the box to be completely illegible.
Hey, why did he just give him a kiss? Are we gonna see him in the Diddy trial?
Due to the extremely low quality of the sound, it is debated by players what exactly the ticket taker says at this point, though it is widely agreed that he says, "Never reach the other levels."
What?
Then the screen fades out once again and returns
helping
the
us?
player back to their starting point in the lobby. But the ticket taker is gone and the hallway is blocked by a large brick wall sprite. Touching the brick wall will immediately crash the game, and that's all there is to it. No one knows what the other levels are or how to gain access to them.
Hey, better call
Nor is
Wreck-It
it
Ralph.
known why the swirly head man causes so much acute fear in those who have seen him in the game. All the original copies of the theater have either been lost or destroyed, but the creepiest part is the fact that all the original players of the game claim to occasionally see a brief glimpse.
Hey, you good, bro? You solid? What's going on? And I ain't gonna lie, like, low-key, I feel like, chat, tell me if anybody else feels the same way. I feel like if I'm playing a horror game and the antagonist is like a foot smaller than me, I don't have a reason to be afraid. I can just turn into Mike Tyson. Mr. Mix? Are we on a cooking show?
In the early 1990s,
Hey, you know what? If this dude turns to a ghost and starts haunting me in my nightmares, oh my god, dude. Oh my god, bro. I'm gonna have a little chuckle. I'm gonna have a little chuckle. I don't think I'll be scared.
these typing games were very common. There was a lesser known typing game called Mr. Mix.
It's
which
a
was
typing
released around
game?
the same time as Mario Teaches Typing. It started
Chat, you
character
know what? You know what? Before we even read this, can we play it? Can we play it? Chat, should we play it? Warning, please turn your volume down to 4% or 2%. Thank you. Bro, he looks like an egg yolk and he looks like creepier version of Pikachu. Chat, should we play this?
ingredients
Let's
to
watch
the
it
whole
first. Let's
as
watch
we
it
put the
first.
Words for him.
Potato.
The game was very similar
Salad.
to Mario Teaches Typing, which might be why it was lesser known. Another reason the game was lesser known is that it was a very hard typing game. The
Hard?
difficulty started out pretty low at level 1,
Bro,
but by
this is
level
easy.
5, the requirement became 500 words per minute, which
What?
was impossible to beat. The game was notable for
Y'all gotta
having
get, like,
some
one of those
strange
war
background
typers.
music as well. It started with low growls in the first level that would progressively get louder as the level went on. Eventually, the music would get so loud
Dr.
that it caused
Coconut?
permanent damage to the early computer speakers. The second level notably didn't have any music.
Hey, hold
but
on,
the
hold on,
third
hold on. Y'all seen that? Y'all know who Dr. Coconut is? Bro, I want to 1v1 in the crystal PvP. I'm gonna do it.
had what sounded like a low-quality recording of a hairdryer in the background. The third and
Hold
fourth
on, I wanna be
levels
real
would
for a
just play
second. What is this
loud,
dude making?
high-pitched ringing sound that would persist throughout the levels.
He's making like some toxic
Some people
sludge.
even reported ear pain from the ringing sound.
Granted.
The
Well, that's
design
kind
of
of hard.
Mr. Mix was also considered to be creepy. He was a
Pepperoni.
round-faced man with beady eyes and very red cheeks. He would stare at the player as they
Salt.
continued to type away. Most of the children who played the game would have horrible nightmares about Mr. Mix.
What?
He would talk to them in their nightmares with his raspy, quiet voice. Mr. Mix
Hey, somebody dial Chris Hansen on the line. That's ridiculous.
would tell them to keep quiet about something, but it wasn't anything they could remember.
And he's cooking like
He
Heisenberg.
also found
Damn.
kids to develop deep psychological issues. The game had terrified them to the extent that they needed to see a psychologist.
What?
The psychologist had noted that the kids had been deeply disturbed, but no connection was ever made to the game. The game didn't sell very well for a few reasons, and almost
Chat, so if I played this game, if I decided to just go play that game on stream, this dude would have showed up in my nightmares? This guy? He looks like Bigwell from Robots.
fell entirely into obscurity. That was until a ROM of the game was discovered, with hackers immediately
ROM?
trying to dig through the game's files. Everything seemed fine until the hackers used a memory hack to bypass the 5th level in the game.
Oh, shit.
Whenever they would bypass the 5th level, the game would crash, writing a bunch of files to the home drive of their PC.
What?
The files contained pictures of people with horribly deformed faces. They appeared to be screaming in pain and agony. Their eyes had
Is he
streams of
cooking?
blood coming from them, and their outer layer of skin was torn off in a few places. Attempting to delete these files would cause your computer to blue screen, possibly breaking.
This guy? This guy did that?
It. The hackers did find a way around this issue and were able to finally get to the last 2 levels.
Dude.
The original hackers unfortunately all decided they couldn't talk about it and
What?
refused to answer any questions about the game when asked. Within a month, every single hacker had gone missing. 2 years later, a man was arrested for
Wait, so Mr. Mix is really, he goes out and he murks people?
to abduct a child from a supermarket.
What? Dude, what is he on? What? He gets worse and worse every time I hear it.
Discovered that this man was one of the original hackers of the game. When interrogators tried to ask him any question, the only thing he would say was, "I'm Mr. Mix."
Bro, I'm off. Like, you're telling me this dude's going on like some insane dark web anonymous killing spree, murking people left and right, playing lockdown defense on the internet, making sure none of his secrets get out. You put him into an interrogation room, they're talking to him, and he's going, "I'm Mr. Mix. I'm Mr. Mix." Bro, get this dude out of here. This Chef Boyardee looking ass, bro.